It's not Russian. Scrambled eggs. All I want today is scrambled eggs. That's how that song started. I'm going to tell you a story. I shouldn't tell you this, but I will. I was sitting in the studio at Paul one day and the phone rang and it was Frank Sinatra. And he was going, yep! Calling him all sorts of names. Because Paul had this song called Suicide, but it was very Frank Sinatra. We call it Suicide. You know, one of those songs. And Frank didn't like this at all. He thought, this is not good for my career, and he's screaming at Paul over the phone. Of course, Paul thinking we couldn't hear the phone, and going, yes, Frank, okay, Frank. Yeah, no problem, Frank. Doing one of them. Then I hear the phone slam down, and Paul carried on talking like, yeah. Okay, Frank, thank you very much. Yes, and nice, thank you. So I said, but yeah, so that song yesterday was recorded by like everybody and his dog. You know, everybody recorded yesterday. And the whole thing about songwriting, you know, in this town when I used to come here years ago, it was all about songwriters. So, you know, I dedicate everything I do to the people in this town who's kind of started that songwriting thing for us in England and still, you know. So, hey, keep it up wherever you are. Wherever you are. We're with you in a minute. Yeah. So again, Paul was always kind of trying to get me to write. It was a little bit like that with the Beatles after a while, believe it or not. They all wanted to stay home and spend their money, and he lived around the corner from the MI studio, so he always wanted to be recording. Well, so he said to me, we're going out to Lagos, Nigeria to make an album.
Yeah.
Big time, right? But what it was that EMI had studios all over the world. And EMI was the big thing in England, of course, the great organisation owned it. Sunday night at the London Palladium was a big EMI thing in the early days with all the acts from all over the world. We grew up watching it on television. Well, we didn't have television for years, but we did eventually. And EMI was the big number anyway. So EMI Studios ran the corner from Paul's house. All those were recorded at EMI. George Martin was an in-house producer. He wasn't even nobody knew about rock and roll bands in those days. He was the comedian producer. He produced the Goons, if you ever heard of that. That was the spin-off was Monty Python's thing. It was after the Goons. It was all completely about those guys, Spike Milligan and Peter Sellers and all those people. So anyway, EMI was really the place where we did a lot of recordings. Air Studios, which was later George Martin's studio with Jeff Emerick. Now, Jeff Emerick, a friend of mine, just passed away, unfortunately, and we were going to go out and do some of these songs and stories, because Jeff was the man who used to work at EMI. And there were rules there. You couldn't do this, you couldn't do that. You're supposed to put the microphone this far away from the amplifiers. And, you know, they'd never done anything like this before. So he pushed the envelope there, and of course the Beatles recorded Sgt. Pepper with him and stuff like that. So again, sorry to say that, you know, friends of mine passed away over the years, and Ray Thomas recently from the Blues as well. So yeah, and so when we did the Hall of Fame thing, Justin Hayward said, well, we're just a bunch of Englishmen, we don't know much about this Hall of Fame thing, but thank you anyway. But we weren't that worried about, you know, but I did get inducted, which was great, because I got to see all the guys. It was just great to see Mike and Graham, especially because they were the original movies. So anyway, that's that story out of the way. I don't know what the hell I was going to say next. Again, so Paul had said to me, have you got any songs? And again, I said, well, I've got some bits here. So I played them to him. He said, well, why don't we join them together? And that's the song. Because Paul's like that, you know, he's one of those guys. He'll find an answer to anything. So we did, and it ended up being this song.